feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, what's up? I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, I'ma tell you I feel amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing today on this Friday the 13th out of all days? But I am here, the Playmakers here, down there, silence in the building from Jacksonville, Florida, bringing you Bearing Down the Gridiron. We have some things to talk about because last week, something interesting took place last week that I got to discuss. And we got a good week today. The Pac-12 is going to shine bright this week because they do have the game of the week in their conference. And I can't wait to preview that game. But nevertheless, I am here. Thank you for watching the reviews on X, or formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for tuning in. I am here. I'm ready to rock and roll, and let's get to it because we got some things to discuss today. And y'all know the first order of business. We got to go with the 2-minute drill. And to begin the 2-minute drill, Kansas quarterback Jalen Daniels doubtful for the game against Oklahoma State. That could be a big blow. But we did see the backup for Kansas come in against UCF and handle his stand against the UCF Knights. But nevertheless, we are talking about Oklahoma State, who has been a subpar team this year, and then they trying to turn it around. They got a big win a week ago. So we gonna see how Kansas look going into this game. I believe that game is in Lawrence, Kansas, if I do recall. Let me get that time for you for tomorrow. Hold on. We have note that it's in Stillwater, Oklahoma on FS1 3:30. The Jayhawks are trying to go 6-1 with the Cowboys of Oklahoma State trying to go 4-2. We'll see how that goes with Kansas State not having a starting quarterback for them this weekend. Sticking with injuries inside the Big 12, TCU's quarterback Chandler Morris knee likely to miss multiple games. It's not have been a good year for the TCU Horned Frogs. Coming off the national championship appearance a year ago, had a lot of people leave, including quarterback Max Duggan, and it's been rough. Okay, it's been rough for the Horned Frogs. They are currently sitting. Let me see. They are currently 3-3 on the year, 1-2 in conference play. They lost to obviously we know they lost to Colorado to open up the season. But in conference play, they have taken L's to West Virginia and Iowa State. They have BYU they have BYU tomorrow at home, 3:30 on ESPN. Following that, you're talking at Kansas State, at Texas Tech before Texas comes in on November 11th. So this has been a rough go for the Horned Frogs of TCU trying to show off that national championship appearance, which is not doing a good job of. But for quarterback Jalen Daniel and Chandler Morris, we hope for a speedy recovery with both guys being injured and both Kansas and TCU having to start backup quarterbacks beginning this weekend. All right, moving on to our next topic. Ohio State running back Travon Henderson expected to play against Purdue. That is a big get back for the Ohio State as they are traveling to West Lafayette this weekend for a 12 o'clock game against the Purdue Boilermakers. Those of you who have been following the Big Ten and also follow Ohio State, y'all know anytime Ohio State goes into West Lafayette, they have a hard time with the Boilermakers. Even one point, the Boilermakers upset them when they was the number one team in the country. However, they might have gave Ohio State an opportunity. Because when Ohio State got upset by Purdue that year, it was a night game. This is not a night game. This is a noon game right after college game day on Peacock. I believe that will be enough for Ohio State to come out here, do what they need to do, handle business, get to 6-0 as the number 3 team in the land. But don't be surprised if Purdue comes out here, play some ball against the Ohio State Buckeyes, because when it comes to Ohio State, Purdue loves to show up for this one, and they show up big time. So we'll see how that goes. But they are getting, well, Ohio State is getting they started running back, so that should be good news for them. All right, 2 more to go. All right, Colorado's wide receiver slash DB Travis Hunter could play Friday against Stanford. We do have an update on that. He will be playing tonight's game because I have the updated article. It says here Travis Hunter likely in on snap count. Colorado two-way star Travis Hunter remains on track to play Friday against Stanford. Staff will keep an eye on him pregame to make sure he's ready. Hunter, a cornerback and wide receiver who sustained a lacerated liver September 16 against Colorado State, has been cleared to play and has been practicing. He remains on target to play on both offense and defense. Sources say his snap count will be monitored and that he is not expected to come close to the huge number of snaps he had in the first 2 games. We're talking about 100 and something snaps. So, no, you got to keep that the way it is, okay? But it's good that he's going to be back. And for those of you who look at that, it's tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, 10 p.m. ESPN, Stanford at Colorado down in Boulder, Colorado. Good opportunity for the Buffaloes to get the 5-2 on the season. Stanford haven't been the same since the Christian McCaffrey, Andrew Luck days. It's been nothing but terrible season after terrible season after terrible season. Ever since Christian McCaffrey and Andrew Luck left Stanford, it's been for the Stanford Cardinals. Uh, ESPN gives the Buffaloes an 80% chance to win tonight. Vegas says 12.5 in favor of the Buffaloes at home. So there you go. That's tonight's game. That is my PV for tonight's game. I do believe Buffalo should take care of business, get to 5-2. They should not. They shouldn't even struggle with Stanford. I don't see any reason for Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes to struggle with Stanford, because Stanford has not been the same, like I said, since the glory days of Andrew Luck and Christian McCaffrey. So keep it moving. Buffalo, do what you got to do. Get this win. Get the 5-0, and get the 5-2, and you'll win away from being bowl eligible. And what a season this has been for Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes to turn from 1-11 to being bowl eligible just by winning 2 more games, starting with one tonight against Stanford. And lastly, on the docket, more sleep on the menu as Gators eye ways to fight road issues. As a Gator fan, this is very interesting because you're telling me we're going to change it up, and one part of changing it up is for my Gators to get more sleep. Very, very interesting. Okay, so we're going to get more sleep. That's what you're telling me. We're going to try that. Travel to the road site early. Let the players get more sleep. Maybe you can be more focused and be more competitive. Because we have not been competitive on the road. We have been looking awful on the road. So you need to do something, okay? And those of you who don't recall, let me give you the reason why I am like this when it comes to this article about the Florida Gators. So those of you, Gators are 4-2. Okay. You lost to Utah opening day in Salt Lake City, 24-11. Didn't look impressive whatsoever. Even though Utah didn't dominate the game, you didn't look impressive. Or Utah just played that game, and people want to give them the credit for looking dominant when it was pretty much the Florida Gators looking terrible. Okay. You go home, you take care of Mini State, you upset 11, then ranked 11 Tennessee at home, you beat Charlotte at home, then you go to Kentucky. And then when you go to Kentucky, you let a man by the name of Ray Davis run for 280 yards and 4 touchdowns in a 33-14 ass whooping in Lexington, Kentucky. When we was then ranked 22nd in the country. This can't happen. Follow that up, you go home and you put the beating on Vanderbilt the way you're supposed to for homecoming, 38-24. So now we're going to try something different. We are at South Carolina, 3:30 on the SEC network. Do not go into Columbia, South Carolina and look like hot garbage again on the road. Okay? The crazy thing is ESPN has South Carolina favorite at 57.5 favorite to beat us. A 2-3 team is favorite to beat us, and we're 4-2. I'm gonna need Billy Napier to bring this to the bulletin board. ESPN believes South Carolina's going to beat us, and Spencer Rattler has done pretty well. I can say, throwing for over 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But why is they favorable us? They shouldn't be favorable us. So, and even Vegas is giving South Carolina 2 points over us. So we need to send a message because who has South Carolina beat? They lost to North Carolina in the opening season. They beat Vermont, which you should supposed to do. You went to Georgia, you lost by 10. You beat Mississippi State, okay, and then you got smacked by Tennessee. So basically, you're the same as Florida. You can defend home turf, but you can lose on the road. And if I look at this, we average more yards than South Carolina, and we give up less yards than South Carolina. Everything should point to Florida, but yet ESPN and Vegas are saying South Carolina. Billy Napier, they don't trust you. They don't like you. So guess what you need to do? You need to go into Columbia, South Carolina. You need to bunch the King Cars in their goddamn mouth and send a message. Okay? Especially now because we are 2 weeks away from that game. 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from that game right here in Jacksonville, Florida, with you-know-who that is the number 1 team and back-to-back national champions. This week, before we go on our bye week, you need to punch the Gamecocks in their bleeping mouth, send a message going into our bye week next week before you come here to Duval County to play that game against that number 1 team in the country. This is what you have to do. You have to do this. You cannot lose to South Carolina. If you lose to South Carolina, don't even show up to Jacksonville. Don't show up to Jacksonville. I don't care. Do not lose to South Carolina. All right? And that is the 2-minute drill. All right, we're going to take a break. Then when we come back, we're going to recap the week. It's going to be a short recap. There's only one thing I need to discuss, but I will discuss it. We'll be back after this. The Playmakers blog is sponsored by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, mountains of entertainment. So much to stream. From shows and movies you can only catch here on Paramount Plus, whether it be from CBS, BET, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, and so much more. The new home of Showtime. Watch Showtime original series, movies, and sports when you sign up for Paramount Plus with Showtime. Catch exclusive originals from Paramount Plus such as Star Trek, Strange Wars, The Family Stallones, Halo, and so much more. You also can stream live sports like NFL on CBS, the UEFA Champions League, the Masters, and the SEC on CBS. Paramount Plus, you can stream up to 3 devices when you create an account. So Paramount Plus plan starts at $5.99. If you hit that link below, you can get a free trial. Paramount Plus, mountains of entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC.
Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real.
I explained this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
And welcome back to Bearing Down the Gridiron, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Shout out to Paramount Plus. You absolutely love Paramount Plus. Love that for only $6 a month, you can stream all types of stuff that you've seen on Paramount Plus, and for $12 a month, you can add Showtime. So you're looking at another $6, you can add Showtime with your account with Paramount Plus. Shout out to my man Alex Alcazar, Internet LC, one of the best soccer shows in the land today. Man's doing phenomenal things, talking soccer. All right. Now we got that out the way. We had to recap the weekend that was. It's gonna be one of the shortest recaps I have ever done when doing Bearing Down the Gridiron, because everything went according to plan as it should. But we're gonna recap it anyway. And as you see, Ohio State took care of business at home, 37-17 against Maryland, giving Maryland their first toss on the year. The Red River rivalry, the Red River shootout, whatever you want to call it, 34-30. Oklahoma over Texas in a battle of unbeatens in a top 15 matchup. I will get to that in a minute. LSU bounced back in Columbia, Missouri to take down once upon the undefeated Tigers of Missouri, 49-39. The score does not indicate how much closer that game is because of a late pick six pushed the game to a 10-point lead for LSU. Good bounce back win for the Tigers and Brian Kelly. First defeat for the Missouri Tigers. Heartbreaker that is. Alabama goes on the road to College Station and takes down Texas A&M 26-20. Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher. He had opportunities. He had opportunities. Jimbo had opportunities. But he wanted to play with conservative. And when you play conservative against Alabama, you get beat. He played conservative. He didn't take shots on. He didn't take some chances on fourth downs. It's short fourth downs at that. Like a 4th and 3 or 4th and 1. He didn't take chances. He decided to punt the ball, and Texas A&M just couldn't catch Alabama completely. So Alabama 5-1 on the year. A&M 4-2. LA, where the UCLA Bruins got a big win over 13th-ranked Washington State Cougars, 25-17. Washington State scored 17 points in the first half. The Cougars of Washington State scored 17 points in the first half, which means UCLA scored pretty much the rest of the points, and was the only team to score in the second half. And if I looked at this correctly, which I'm going to go back and look at, we talking, it was pretty much. No, I take that back. It was 17-12 past the midway point in the third quarter for the Cougars, and then the UCLA Bruins wrecked off 13 straight. And the Washington State couldn't do nothing else. It was, congratulations to Chip Kelly. Then we talking the best game, the absolute best game our national defending champions played this season. At home against a ranked opponent in the Kentucky Wildcats, the University of Georgia put the brakes on the Kentucky Wildcats. It was pretty much it was done after the first quarter. It was 14-0 after the first quarter, then it became 21-0 in the second quarter, and then before you know it, it became 34-7 at halftime. Kentucky had no answers for Georgia. They couldn't stop Georgia doing anything. Mainly Brock Bowers. That dude is becoming a beast yet again. 7 catches, 132 yards, 1 touchdown catch. Marcus Ransley Jackson, 4 catches, 99 yards and a touchdown. I mean, Carson Beck threw for almost 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. It was domination by the Georgia Bulldogs on every level, offense, defense, special teams, you name it. Kentucky coming off that big win over Florida had to go over the hedges to Athens, and they did not show up whatsoever. Georgia put their foot in their ass and left it there. So shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs looking like the #1 team in the country. Finally. Now, let me get to this Red River shootout because this is the interesting part, ladies and gentlemen. So the Texas Longhorns, they went up 30-27 with about a minute and 17 left in the game. So what you see here, it is the last drive of the Oklahoma Sooners here. Down 3. And this is what the Sooners did, down 3, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this drive. So they kicked it off. It was a touchback, all right? Dylan Gabriel completes pass to Drake Stoops for 11 yards. First down. Second play, Dylan Gabriel completes pass to Jalen Farouk, 16 yards. Dylan Gabriel completes pass to Drake Stoops, 28 yards. Dylan Gabriel, incomplete pass to Anderson. Pass interference called on Texas. Ball moves to the 14-yard line of Texas. Dylan Gabriel wants 3 yards to the Texas 3. Dylan Gabriel complete pass to Nick Anderson for 3 yards, touchdown with the extra point. First down play, 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 and a second down play. The Oklahoma Sooners didn't see a third down or a fourth down on their final drive of the. I'm gonna say that again. The Oklahoma Sooners did not see a third down nor a fourth down on their final drive of this game to beat the Texas Longhorns 34-30. What a difference a year make. Remember, Dylan Gabriel didn't play in last year's game when Texas stomped a mohole in Oklahoma and walked the drive to a tune of 49-0. 49-0 last year. No Dylan Gabriel at quarterback. Going into the year, people wanted to see Texas, run the conference, run the division, because they sending out, and all the hype is surrounding the Texas Longhorns. Nobody was talking about Oklahoma. Nobody was talking about Oklahoma. Oklahoma's in the back burner. Nah, y'all had y'all shot. Texas is on the rise now. They'll get it done. But lo and behold, Oklahoma. I want y'all to know. Those of you who didn't recall, I picked OU to win this game. Remember? I picked OU to win this game, for those of you who don't recall. Why did I pick OU to win this game? So let me show you why. I picked OU to win this game. For those of you who probably don't remember, I picked OU to win the conference. Because how fitting is it? All the talk is around Texas. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I believe Oklahoma was picked 4th in the conference. If I remember, I think Oklahoma was picked fourth. I think Oklahoma was picked fourth was picked to finish fourth in the conference. If I remember correctly, if my memory serves me correctly, because I like to keep up with stuff like this. Yeah, so they picked third. Texas had got 41 votes. Texas State got 14 votes. Oklahoma and Texas Tech both got 4 votes. Talking wanting around Oklahoma is around Texas, and I'm like, how fitting would it be? How fitting would it be if the Oklahoma Sooners remind everybody who actually owns the state of the Big 12 before exiting out? But everybody's looking at Texas and they say, what if OU does it? And then I picked OU to win that game because that was my pick to win the conference. Oklahoma, 34. Texas, 30. Say I'm on track to be right about who's leaving the Big 12 on top. Now they got to finish the job, but this is a good way to do it. Very good way to do it. So shout out to the Oklahoma Sooners for handling business, okay? Handling business. Now, let me take this down real quick because I'm about to address something right here, okay? And I'm about to address the stupidity of how a team lost the game when they had victory in their hands. Literally, victory was in their hands. There was nothing another team could do to win the game. Literally nothing. And yet that other team found a way to win the game. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go down to Miami. Let's go down to Miami. You see this right here? Georgia Tech 23, Miami Hurricanes 20. Now, if you haven't been paying attention from this past Saturday up to now, let me help you out. Miami was in control, as you can see. At one point, Georgia Tech had a lead at 14-10. Then it became 20-14. And then it became 20-16. No, 20-17. 20-17 because they kicked the field goal. Y'all see this right here, right? But before I get to that, I have to show y'all something because the stupidity of Mario Cristobal is amazing. I have to show y'all this because this is like the dumbest thing I've ever seen happen in the sport of football. Now, if I can find it, I should have put it on the slate, but I didn't. Because it is dumbfounded. Because I don't understand. I just don't understand. I can't see it right now. All right. Because how do you lose this game? Okay, I can't find it like I want to. Look, Mario Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes had 45 seconds on the clock. Georgia Tech had no timeouts. No freaking timeouts. Matter of fact, I have it on my phone. I don't know if y'all be able to see it on my phone. Let's see. Let's try this. Hold on. I want y'all to look at that. 34 seconds on the clock. Miami is up 20-17. And they're in freaking shotgun. They're in shotgun. You can see it. Georgia Tech has no timeouts. Georgia Tech has not one freaking timeout. But Mario Cristobal has his offense in shotgun with 34 seconds left. The running back fumbles the freaking ball. And Georgia Tech gets the ball at their 26-yard line. And this is the final drive of the whole entire game. First down at the Georgia Tech 26. Haynes King, pass incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 26 of Georgia Tech. Haynes King, complete pass to Malik Rutherford for 30 yards to the Miami 44. First down. 1st and 10 at the Miami 44. Has King, incomplete pass, but he actually spiked it, to be honest. 2nd and 10 at the Miami 44. Haynes King, complete pass to Christian Larry, 44 yards for a touchdown, 2-point conversion fails. Don't matter because the Miami Hurricanes lost to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. These dudes went 74 yards in 25 seconds. All because all you had to do was kneel on the freaking ball to win the game. But no, Mario Cristobal, he didn't say kneel. He said, let's get in the shotgun. Let's do this. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. Let's do this. Let's do this right here. Let's get in the shotgun. Let's run the play. It's only 24 seconds left. Georgia Tech has no timeouts. That's what he wanted to do. And you lost the game for being idiotic, for being stupid, for being an idiot, for being every goddamn thing in the freaking book. It's freaking retarded to lose a game like that. It really is. And I'm not even a Hurricane fan, but stupid stuff like that, it really pisses me off. Because the game was in your freaking hands and you blew it because you had to be a dumbass. A dumbass of a coach. And the crazy part is, this ain't the first time he did it at Oregon too. I ain't even look back to see what he did at Oregon. Because I don't even remember that he did it in Oregon. But the simple fact, 34 seconds, no timeouts for the opponent, and you won the ball instead of taking a knee. And then this the result of it. You fumble the ball, you give Georgia Tech one more drive, and this is the drive that they did. To beat you in your own building. Your own building. Idiotic. Don't make no damn sense. Don't make no sense. This is the second week in a row that I had to deal with something in the state of Florida of stupidity of not showing up. For whatever the case may be. Last week I had to deal with Florida getting their ass whooped in by the Kentucky Rocket, and I had to deal with freaking UCF blowing a 28-point lead in the third quarter to lose to Baylor. Now I'm dealing with Miami. Don't know how to kneel on the ball with the game in hand. To lose to Georgia Tech. The stupidity that's going on in the state of Florida boggles me right now. While Florida State is up there and Tallahassee having a ball because they're undefeated, ranked in the top 5 in the country. And they are licking their chops this Saturday with Syracuse coming in to Doak Campbell Stadium. Just idiotic, man. Idiotic. That's the gridiron roundup. We'll take our second break, and then when we come back, we're going to go on a campus tour. And this campus tour, going to be heavy with the PAC. Got some PAC-12 gets the spotlight on this one. We'll be back.
Welcome to Ringside Chaos, the professional wrestling discussion segment of the Bear of Texas podcast. The only professional wrestling podcast in the world where pro wrestling is discussed passionately, with confidence, with great knowledge, and most of all, in the most sophisticated way. So brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because chaos is about to be unleashed. Thing with Tony Khan now being in talks to buy WWE, I'm going to be honest with you. I spoke to this with Ricky Litwinkowicz, aka the Master of Mayhem, and he honestly believes that me talking about Tony Khan buying WWE is that basically I'm kind of wasting my time because Ricky believes it's never going to happen. Okay, now don't get me wrong, Ricky, I respect what he says. He could very well be correct, but I got to be honest with you, the fact that Khan is interested in supposedly buying WWE, to me that's definitely worth talking about. Now, I should mention this. Shout out to Ricky, by the way. And I gotta mention this, that even Jim Cornette already had something to say. And he said, and I quote, "Ridiculous to think that could happen," unquote. A wrestling fan that's been super supportive of Brody Lee as a wrestler and everything that WWE could have done with him and, everything that he could have shown and, offered for the wrestling business. For me, I wasn't just a fan of Brody Lee himself, like in character. I strongly respected him, as a human being. Like, I had a lot of respect for Jonathan Huber. That's Mr. Brody Lee's real name. So basically, I had a lot of respect for Brody Lee, Luke Harper, and of course, Mr. Jonathan Huber. Particular episode was about World Class Championship Wrestling. And the episode title is, WCCW Wrestling's Lone Star Legacy. And because I am the Bear of Texas, and I do hail from the Dallas-Fort Worth area of the state of Texas, World Class Championship Wrestling was basically my territory as far as being a wrestling fan goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ringside Chaos is available on all streaming platforms including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
The Playmakers Bar is proudly sponsored by Fanatics. Fanatics, the #1 shop where sports fans across the world love to get their sports gear and fandom on. A wide selection of gears from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, the NCAA, and of course, the WWE. Whether it is football, basketball, baseball, hockey, even soccer, golf, no matter what sport it is, there's sports appeal for every fan of every sport. Fanatics, where sports fans shop and official license everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bearing Down the Gridiron. Needed a break. What you saw there, Ringside Chaos, one of the top wrestling shows in the country. I was like, that's another show that he does. So shout out to Fanatics. So finish license everything. Get all your sports gear. College, NFL, NBA, Major League, NHL, golf, whatever the case may be, soccer. Get it with Fanatics.com. Finish license everything. All right, now it's time for a trip around the country to spotlight the top games of the weekend. And we go campus tour. And to begin my campus tour, tomorrow, 4 p.m. on Fox, we go to a Big Ten country, Madison, Wisconsin, where the Iowa Hawkeyes will do battle with the Wisconsin Badgers. A big one in the Big Ten because in the West, these two teams are at the top right now. It is a battle to see who will be on top of the West. Then we go to the standings here and show you where we are at right now between. As of right now, Wisconsin is 2-0 in conference play. Iowa State 2-1. With Wisconsin 4-1 overall, Iowa 5-1 overall. This game is a big one in the Big Ten West. Whoever walks out of Madison, Wisconsin with a W will be in prime position to reach the Big Ten championship game down in Indianapolis, Indiana. 4 p.m. on Fox. Moving right along, let's go from Madison, Wisconsin. Let's head to Lexington, Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen. Two teams are coming off heartbreaking losses, disrespectful losses, if you're the Kentucky Wildcats, who got stumped and mollywopped by the Georgia Bulldogs, and the Missouri Tigers coming off a heartbreaking loss to the LSU Tigers at home. Missouri no longer ranked. Kentucky ranked 24. This is a big one. Which team can bounce back from a loss between the Tigers and the Wildcats? I like this game right here in the East. Both teams are pretty much one game back behind the Georgia Bulldogs, with Missouri not having to face Georgia yet. Kentucky already took that loss, so we have pretty much 3 teams right now. They're all looking to catch Georgia, and yet the East is still up for grabs because Georgia hasn't faced it. Georgia has not faced Missouri yet. They have not faced Florida yet, and they haven't faced Tennessee yet. So the East is still open for the time being, even though we all predicted and know that Georgia will somehow somewhere win the SEC East anyway. But for the time being, that day has not come yet. So 7:30 on the SEC Network, Kentucky, Missouri, Lexington, Kentucky. From Lexington, Kentucky, we head up to South Bend, Indiana, 7:30 NBC, a renewal of a rivalry. Number 10, the USC Trojans taking on 21st ranked, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. USC comes in the building 6-0, ladies and gentlemen. 6-0. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fighting Irish are looking to bounce back from a heartbreaking and embarrassing loss to the Louisville Cardinals over a week ago. How would things go now that it doesn't matter now? 2 big games for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 2 losses. You lost at home to the Ohio State Buckeyes when you was in control for most of the game. You went to Louisville to take on the Cardinals. You took an L, 33-20. You did go on the road and you beat Duke in a big game with College Game Day there. But so far, you're 1-2 in big games. You have another one, and this one is at home against an undefeated USC team who is favored to win the Pac-12. They look on track because that offense is ridiculous, but that defense is very terrible. That defense is terrible. That defense of the Trojans give out 421 yards a game. That is terrible. But the offense for the Trojans led by Caleb Williams, who is the reigning defending Heisman Trophy winner, averaging over 523 yards a game. Could this be the time for Marcus Freeman to get himself a major win when number 10 comes walking in? Because Vegas has 2.5 favorite of the Fighting Irish. And ESPN has it 62% in favor of the Fighting Irish. So with the Fighting Irish peaceable rise to the occasion and take down the Trojans of USC. From South Bend, we go to Chapel Hill. It is 7:30 ESPN ACC matchup. 25 ranked. The Miami Hurricanes somehow is still ranked in the top 25 despite that horrible loss to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Now they got to go on the road to bounce back to number 12 North Carolina. 7:30 ABC Chapel Hill. ESPN says 61 Tar Heels. Vegas says a field goal Tar Heels. Now you got 2 teams here, both averaging 500 yards a game. Miami's 505, well 506 if you want to round up. And Miami's in North Carolina's right at 500. So that should be interesting to see. Defensive wise, the edge go to Miami. They only give up 268 yards a game. North Carolina gives up 335 a game. That's a big difference. You can run on North Carolina. Which Miami, since they love to run the ball, they should be able to do that. So just throwing that out there. You have Tyler Van Dyke going against Drake May. Van Dyke has thrown for 1,330 yards so far with 12 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Drake May, who is projected to be either the first or second pick behind Caleb Williams for the upcoming NFL draft, he is at 1,629 yards passing through the air with 8 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Let's see how Mario Cristobal has his boys ready for this one after they've been humiliated all week for the dumbest decision on God's green earth that you can make in football. Against Matt Brown and the undefeated 12-ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina. North Carolina, we will see. Why do I pick in our final segment? But this one's gonna be a good one in Chapel Hill. The U UNC. Who's going down? From Chapel Hill to Corvallis, Oregon. Back to the Pac-12. Told you the Pac-12 got the spotlight. UCLA traveling to Corvallis to take on the Oregon Ducks in a top 20 showdown of the Pac-12. 18 versus 15. 4-1 is the Bruins. 5-1 are the Beavers. You know, UCLA coming off that big win over a then 13 ranked Washington State after losing 14-7 to Utah. Oregon State, on the other hand, they took an L 38-35 to Washington State. They beat Utah 21-7, and when it was in the shootout last week with Cal 52-40. This should be a fun game. This should be a high scoring game. The over under is 54.5. So can you see both teams scoring 55 together? I can. Oregon State's favored by 3.5. ESPN says 69.6% in favor of the Beavers. This should be a fun one to watch. Chip Kelly's offense going against that Beavers defense. DJ Uiagalelei, the quarterback for Oregon State, going against the UCLA Bulls defense. It should be fun to watch here. Both teams averaging about 150 yards a game, with UCLA is over that at 459 yards a game. The Beavers at 449 a game. There should be a shootout here down in Corvallis in prime time, 8 o'clock on Fox. Don't miss that one. It's gonna be a shootout in Corvallis. Ooh, the Pac-12 is on. And speaking of the Pac-12, just speaking of the Pac-12, game of the week. I've been waiting for this one. I've been waiting for this one for a year. 3:30 ABC College Game Day is there. Seattle, Washington. Top 10 showdown in the Pac-12. Two teams that are undefeated. We're talking the Oregon Ducks. We're talking the Washington State Huskies. It is a showdown I have been waiting for a year, because it was the Washington Huskies who ended my Oregon Ducks Pac-12 hopes when they went to Eugene, Oregon, and they upset the Oregon Ducks in Eugene. Michael Pittman Jr. was unstoppable in that game, and he's unstoppable now through this game. This game, this game means a lot. There are only 3 undefeated teams left in the Pac-12. One will go down because both of these teams are undefeated. As of right now, I'm telling you the standings of the Pac-12 right now. Number 1 is the University of Southern California, 6-0 overall, 4-0 in the Pac-12. Number 2 is the Oregon Ducks, 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the Pac-12, followed by the Washington Huskies, 5-0 overall, 2-0 in Pac-12. And then right behind you have Oregon State, Utah, UCLA, Washington State. I've been waiting on this game. And it made me wait even more because what Dan Laney did pregame ahead of the Colorado game. They play for clicks. We play for wins. So, Dan Laney, this is the game. This team ended your Pac-12 right here. And both of y'all are going to the Big Ten next year. So which one of y'all want to head to the Big Ten with a major win of the other one? Okay? Because let me show y'all this again. I showed y'all who I picked to win the Big 12, right? Take a look to see who I had winning the Pac-12. That's right. I picked Oregon. I went Oregon. Yeah, I went with Oregon. No question about it. So, Dan Laney, do not F around and lose this game in Seattle, because I will come with fire next week. Because I would be pissed off and I would be mad. Because I picked Oregon to win. You bring that energy that you brought to Colorado, you bring it to Seattle with you. You want to go at Deion Sanders? Go at this team. Go at the team that beat you. Go at the team that beat your ass at home. Go at that team. You bring that energy to Washington Saturday in a primetime slot, 3:30 on ABC. The world is watching. Oh, the world is watching this one. Darling, if you lose to the Seattle Huskies tomorrow, I'm gonna be very pissed off because we play for wins, right? You better win this one, and I ain't playing. Get it done. And by the way, y'all, I'm giving y'all my pick on that one because that's how passionate I am about this game. Then that brings us to our extra point van vote, ladies and gentlemen. Had a lot of votes in this one. A whole lot of votes in this one. I ain't know which way this is gonna go, but ladies and gentlemen, y'all went the route of the SEC. So we go to Knoxville, Tennessee, 3:30 CBS, right alongside the Pac-12 game of the week. Texas A&M come out the loss to Alabama, going against 20th ranked Volunteers of Tennessee, who are coming off a bye week. Let's see how A&M bounce back from the loss to Bama, and let's see how Tennessee looks after their bye week. And this one should be an interesting game. CBS got them a good one for the SEC. We'll see how it goes on that one. Quick break, come back. We're gonna do the first let me do this. That's the quick break, come back. Give you my piece, and we're out of here. The Playmaker Squad is sponsored by Lids. Locker Rooms by Lids. Shop hats and official sports gear at Lids. Lids, the leader and number one destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you. Make it a perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gears. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback, adjustable, fitted hat, or beanie from thousands of college and professional teams. Browse the very latest jerseys and t-shirts for the best teams out there. Lids has officially licensed professional and college sports teams apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country. Locker Rooms by Lids. And for the bear down pick, give me the Wisconsin Badgers to defend the home turf against the Iowa Hawkeyes, even though Iowa should find a way to win this game because they have been the better team in the Big Ten for quite some time. But give me the Badgers to take care of home field and get the big W to take control of the Big Ten West. As of right now, give me the Kentucky Wildcats to bounce back from that embarrassing loss to the Georgia Bulldogs. They come home, they punch Missouri in their mouth, and they send them like, hey, what happened to us against Georgia is not normally us, okay? We're better than that, and we're going to show you we're better than that. March through, but not lose 2 in a row, especially at home. Give me the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm going Fighting Irish over the Trojans of USC. Notre Dame does no better time to beat this team of Southern Cal than right now. You're at home going against a porous defense, okay? Caleb Williams and that offer, they're going to get theirs. But you just need to stop Caleb Williams at least 1 or 2 times. Just 1 or 2 times to stop them, and you bring that physicality to that damn defense. Let it be known that we are more physical than you, and you can't handle it, especially in our house, in prime time, in South Bend. Let it be known. Handle business. Marcus Freeman, get your first big win of your coaching career by taking down number 10, USC. Give me the Tar Heels, man. Give me the Tar Heels. I can't. Marcus Ball pissed me off with that damn play call. Pissed off. You lost to Georgia Tech. Give me North Carolina. Give me the Beavers to defend home turf. I'm taking the Beavers. Leave it to Beaver. Sorry, Chip Kelly. You're on the road. You win Corvallis. It's a primetime game. Corvallis at night is not an easy place to play at. I think DJ Youngale in that Beavers offense will put up points. And don't get me wrong, UCLA, they'll try to put up some points, but I think Corvallis will be not so good to the Bruins of UCLA. I like the Beavers in this one. For the game of the week, again, you already know who I'm picking. I'm picking the Ducks. Don't lose this game. Dan Lane, don't lose this game. Because I will bring back that clip that you did against Colorado for prime time and show you why that you saying that you shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't even have to tape. But you did. You wanted to record it. You wanted the world to see. So since you want to do that, your ass better be on fire for this game. All right. Do not lose to Washington. Don't lose. And then our fan asked the point vote. You gave me Texas A&M. You gave me Tennessee down at Knoxville. Give me the Tennessee. Tuesday. Bounce back by week and get themselves together and let Jimbo Fish and them boys know you're not coming to Knoxville and winning against us. This is not going to happen. All right. All right. So I got the Wisconsin Badgers. Whew. Wisconsin Badgers. Man. I got the Kentucky Wildcats. I got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. All right. I got to go Notre Dame. I have the Oregon State Beavers. Okay. I have the Oregon Ducks. Okay. And I have the Tennessee Volunteers. Those are my bear down pick sixes for this week. Week 7 is here. We are in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Those of you who are watched on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Don't worry, the playback of this will be available on all streaming platforms for podcasters for the audio version. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Playmaker down the sun and all saying I will catch y'all next week. You just experienced Bearing Down the Gridiron, hosted by Donnell, the Playmaker Silence, in collaboration with Arch Brothers Football. Bear Down the Gridiron is sponsored by Liz Fanatics and Paramount Plus. If you enjoyed today's show and would like to make a donation, you can donate via Cash App at $The Playmakers at $The Playmakers. Remember, Bearing Down the Gridiron is available on all podcast directories, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And for Apple Podcast lovers, leave us a rating review. Let us know what you enjoy about today's episode that you're listening to. Tune in again next time for more Bearing Down the Gridiron, hosted by the Playmaker.